Hey everybody, welcome to How I See It with Kevin Levrone, brought to you by Levrone Supplements. This is a special edition of How I See It, taking place just days after Kevin's final show of a very long, very distinguished career as a professional bodybuilder, one of the greats of all time, goes without saying. Kevin, thanks for doing this on a Tuesday, let's say Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday.
Yeah.
You just competed 3 days ago. So let's go back to 2016 Olympia. When that show was over, did you know you were going to do one more, or did you think that might be it?
I knew that I wasn't done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew. I knew I wasn't done.
Just not happy with the way you looked there. Wanted to make.
Yeah, just wasn't enough time, you know.
Okay. So
yeah.
You were also dealing with injuries that whole prep. Didn't you like slightly tear your pec again, getting ready for that show?
Yeah, I did that, and quadricep tendonitis and everything. So I knew with some time moving forward and everything that I could make a difference.
So 2017 was all about getting your knees back in good functioning order with no pain, right?
Yep.
Okay, and you were able to accomplish that with the PRP treatments that you talked about a couple shows ago.
Yeah.
So when did you decide Arnold Australia 2018 would be the next show for you? And did you know at that time, no matter what happened there, you'd hang it up after that? That would be it.
Yeah, I knew after that, no matter what happened, I was done. I think probably 6 months before that show, I talked to Tony Doherty, and I mentioned something to Bob Lormer about doing the Arnold. And after talking to Tony, I decided to do the Arnold Australia.
Did you think about doing Ohio instead?
No, I knew that I wouldn't have enough time to do Columbus, Ohio, which, looking back, maybe, but yeah, I'm okay with the decision that I made going to Australia because the fans are incredible there. Yeah. Tony and I have a 20-some-year-long working relationship, and been there so many years to compete. So for me, that was the show to do.
Okay. So talk to me about your starting point for this show versus physically what your starting point was for the 2016 Olympia.
I was able to just work out harder, work out heavier, have less injuries to worry about and stuff like that moving forward for this show. I felt like I prepared 100% and did everything I possibly could do in the gym, training and everything for the show. I was completely happy with the way I looked and everything. I think going over there, the only challenge was getting my physique from Maryland to Australia looking the way I looked in Maryland, without, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Being healthy and without depleting myself and draining myself of the water intake because, I was flying alone, flying by myself from Baltimore to Cali. That's almost a 6-hour flight. And then you got 14 hours going from there to Australia. Got there Thursday, the show was Saturday. So, of course, my body, by the time I peeled my clothes off and stuff and looked at myself, I didn't quite see what I wanted to see or what I'm seeing now.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I look at myself now. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I couldn't see your damn abs on stage. I was looking at a webcast, but still, I was like, geez, what the hell?
I mean, it's just the water intake and everything. And I just didn't want to just play the safe, man. I had to go in that safe zone and say, are you willing to do this? And people could say, well, you should have finished it off, but finishing it off under those circumstances just wasn't the right decision because of jet lag, because I hadn't slept and things like that. And I was alone by myself, so I had no one to really look over my back if something went wrong in a hotel room or anything like that. So
yeah,
I just had to roll with the punches and decide, you know what, I'm going to be healthy. And I went out there, and of course, some fans are disappointed. because they expect me to look like Kevin Levrone in 2000, expect me to look flawless.
Right.
And in life, things aren't perfect, and you're not going to look flawless in everything. I didn't make any promises. I never said I was going to go win the show. I said I want to look better than 2016, which I put on size on my legs. I put on size everywhere else, and I felt like I was bigger than I was in 2016. And also said I was competing against myself, And I was doing it for myself, competing against myself, not there to compete against the other guys. So that mindset kind of put me to where, I just had to make a decision to say, is it worth the risk of my situation right now to go that little extra mile and take a chance without having my trainer there or my family there or people around me?
Well, I mean, let's say the word diuretic. Let's say diuretics. I mean, I don't think it's a secret that that's how we lose water as bodybuilders at the last stage right before a show. And what are the risks? Because I don't think people would understand when you're saying these things. I don't think everyone out there quite gets what you're talking about. What can happen to somebody from diuretics if they're not careful, or if they don't have, like you said, a coach or somebody with them?
Well, first of all, I have Woosley Performance. These guys look after me. And it's something that, health first. Your health is first. I mean, I could say I'm home now, completely healthy. I look good. I look great. I didn't damage myself. Everything's great. Yeah. But there are a lot of risk to where when you do those things and you want to deplete yourself and deplete the water from your body, you start going into creating a mineral electrolyte imbalance. Yeah. Your potassium and magnesium, these things get thrown out of whack. Depending on how long you decide to deplete yourself can determine, how drastic the measures or damage you're going to do to yourself. I've been on tours with athletes who have killed themselves because of...
Were you at that show? Were you at the Holland Grand Prix when Momo died?
I just left. I left the day before, but I was on a tour with him for 6 shows before when Momo was trying to beat me, and he just totally dehydrated himself, and took it to the extreme and ended up dying. Yeah. So these are the things that if he didn't take it to that extreme and make that decision, he would be around with us right now. Yeah. I'm 50 plus years old, and I wasn't going to take those drastic measures without my team around me or someone that could look over my shoulders, because you do get to that point where one foot's in the grave and the other foot is on top of the soil, and you're trying to battle and fight your way through it. This isn't something new to me. I know that feeling. I knew that feeling in New York, what I felt like at the Night of Champions when I was so ripped and so shredded to the bones. They didn't even give me a call out. I was so ripped and so shredded. I just stood there and went through the compulsories, and they put me back. Yeah. But I also know the measures of pain that I endured after that show, how long it took me to get myself back together, to feeling normal, to eating normal food, to where I even had energy to even move. It was about 48 hours. Yeah. So me looking at all these situations and measures and things of, I got an 11-year-old son, I'm 50, I'm over 50 years old. I just flew 17 hours. There's a total different time period where, it's daylight now, time, jet lag and everything. You want to deplete yourself, go on stage, and under these circumstances, situations, and try to do battle against the younger generation, okay? And take a chance of just placing, okay? Maybe I would have placed, maybe I wouldn't have placed, who knows? But for me, it was about how I felt, and I made a decision based on my life and the responsibilities that I have, not based on the selfishness of what Kevin Levrone want, or winning a show and being selfish, saying, oh, I want to look great, I want to go out here and win and push myself to the point to where I risk my life for a chance of winning a show when I don't have anything to prove by winning a show. I've already won over 22 pro shows, 18 second places in the IFBB. I'm already in the Hall of Fame. So this wasn't about me winning. This was about me making the best decision, staying motivated, and continuing to move forward and motivate people. Winning and everything, Ron, and I've learned that, because I've won enough shows. I won 20-something shows. But these last two shows that I've done, I've been able to motivate people on a whole nother level because I've gotten a lot involved with the mindset, coming back at this age, being able to do things and bench press 500 pounds that people can't do my age, behind the neck 405 for reps, squatting, doing all this. My weight that I was doing 20-some years ago, I'm still able to go to the gym and do that. So I'm blessed to be able to do that and look how I look right now, and for me, it's just this whole comeback's created a great opportunity to me to help influence people around the world. And for my fans out there, you guys that feel like I let you down, hey, I feel like I let myself down too, but also feel like I made the right decision with what I was faced with the circumstances. So that's why I did it. I'm looking forward to guest posing this weekend in Maryland. And hopefully, you guys will get a chance to see what I look like there.
Yeah.
It'll be a total different physique that I have, which I look totally different right now. You know what I mean? Than where I looked on stage. So it's you just competing it's really the human body it is totally different. It's so advanced and everything, and it's unbelievable what it will do to protect itself.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes you got to listen to it. Right now my body's not holding on to any water, and I'm just going with the flow of it. Take for instance, look at Roland Winkler. He won the show.
Yeah.
But he didn't win the show 2 weeks ago. He got what, 5th or 6th?
He was 4th, and he was about almost 20 pounds heavier in Ohio. He dropped almost 20 pounds in 2 weeks.
So there you go. 20 pounds of water, half of it probably fat, a lot of it mostly water.
Yeah. And
he brought a different physique, and he looked great. He got there a week ahead of time and did everything that he could do to present himself and look better. So, over a period, the body changes. He beat William. William was in good shape. Beat Dexter. Whoever thought, So things do change constantly over a period of time, and you just got to be willing to go with it. You got to be willing to take those risks in this game and settle down and move forward. I don't take back any decision that I made going into the Australia show. I'm glad I made those decisions. I'm glad I did not take the diuretics, because if I had started taking diuretics, I'd have to start taking it when I got on the plane, leaving out Tuesday.
Yeah.
To fly to California, I have to pop a half. Going from California to Australia, on that 14-hour flight, I'd have to take another one. Getting there, waiting around for 2 days, I'd have to continue to take them. So that would have been 4 days, right?
Yeah.
Of me depleting myself and then cutting off my water to force my body to get a look, right?
Right.
And I couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to do it. And I'm glad I didn't, because I'm sitting here talking to you now. Yeah. And if I had did that and put my body through that, I just feel like it would have put so much stress on me at this age that I don't know, man. I just don't know what would have happened.
So, I have to ask, do you think if you had gotten to Australia 2 or 3 days earlier, that would have given your body enough time to regulate? I
think probably about a week. A week out, rolling out there a week ahead of time. If I had did that a week, then yeah, I would have looked like I looked before I left, which was good. But I didn't. I have responsibilities. I got a son.
Right.
I got a life. I got things. I got a business and everything that I need to run. So I needed to be here, and I told Tony I can get there at the absolute last minute, and that's what I did. I felt great going through my posing routine. Got a standing ovation from the fans. And I think, my true fans will understand. And now, guess what? They'll see a lot of me in the gym with my shirt off. I'll do posing exhibitions. I got to go to Russia. I'm doing a tour through Russia where I'll be posing,
oh, nice.
On stage. So I'm in shape right now. I'll be posing this weekend on stage. And it's just, it's set the ground for me moving forward to have the opportunity to go and pose now and don't have to worry about any water issues and stuff like that. So
Okay. So,
I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. It ain't like I'm just closing it down and they're not going to see me. No, I'm going to continue to train in the gym. My goal right now is to just stay in shape, get in the best shape that I possibly can get in. Right now, I'm about 244 pounds, which in Australia I was 251.
wow.
Yeah,
That's versus like 220, 225 at the Olympia 2 years ago.
yeah. So I lost 7 pounds of water already,
Wow.
and I'll be on stage this weekend about 242 guest posing. So I think you're going to see a tremendous change in my body and difference than than you saw in Australia this weekend. I'm looking forward to that. Being home, underneath the lights in Baltimore, doing my thing. So it's gonna be interesting. And also, June, I'm going for the world bench press
Oh
record for
shit!
my age category.
Wow.
Yeah. So
What's the
that's
record
my goal.
now? What's
Record is
what's
5:15.
5:15?
It's held by Tony Lotman, the bench press world record, and he works out at my gym.
Oh
And
wow.
I'm gonna go and we're gonna break that record. So
Are you going to train with him for the meet?
I'll probably run into him at the gym and stuff like that. But yeah,
I mean,
it's gonna be interesting.
Is he competing in it also?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, he's not.
I mean, maybe he can give you some pointers. He is a world champion, right?
Yeah,
I know you're a strong guy, but there's certain techniques and all that he could probably help you out with.
probably.
So there's a lot of positive stuff to talk about. But before I get to that, I have to ask a couple things because I've been on Facebook and Instagram. I don't know how much you've been on it. You were a huge topic of discussion. The two things everyone was talking about was Rolly and Kevin. That was pretty much. Even though yeah, I know there was a lot of positive. There were some questions people wanted to know. Like one thing is, did you end up doing any cardio? And I know you weren't doing cardio for most of this prep. Do you kind of wish you had? I mean, do you think it would have
No,
helped?
because right now I'm shredded.
Okay.
So it had nothing to do. Look, I mean, I don't know what you can see and what you can't see. It had nothing to do with. Look at that. Can you see?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
I mean, it had nothing to do with water, with not doing cardio, with anything.
Yeah. I mean, there's a serratus, clear as day.
So it was just water.
Okay.
So it ain't about the cardio. Oh, he should have did this and that. No, it was just water.
Okay. Right.
I mean, the show was Saturday. Today is
Tuesday.
Monday, and look at me now.
They're 15 hours ahead of us. So you
So
competed. You were on East Coast time like me. It was 1 in the morning and 4 in the morning. You were on stage, our time. Friday night, early Saturday mornings. That had to be. Your body clock must have been going haywire.
yeah, so it wasn't anything. It wasn't, oh, he should have did this. Oh, he should have ate this. Oh, he should have did. No, it was just water, water, because I didn't do anything. Where's the water now? It's gone.
Okay. I promise this is the last time I'm going to ask you anything about your legs, okay? I promise. Even though I'll get a million questions submitted, I won't use any of them. Sorry, guys. But because let this be the final statement on it. I know you were doing them 3 times a week or more. You're doing them every other day, and you described the workouts. They were brutal. They were.
Yeah.
I like to think I've trained legs hard in my time, but these are some brutal things you were doing at 53 years old. They were better than they were in 2016. There was no doubt. They still were not like they used to be. Do you think?
Look at this. Hey, look, take pictures. Take pictures of my upper body. It wasn't like it looked. My abs weren't like they look, but they look like they look now. Now my waist is 3 inches smaller, and my legs are completely cut and shredded. So maybe if you see me on stage now, you would see the difference in the size that I put on my legs because everything else is sucked down.
Size-wise, I don't think areas like your delts, to me, they don't look that much smaller than they were in your prime. Your arms don't look that much smaller. Your chest, that shot you hit from the front, your famous most muscular, to me, that's almost the same. It's not, you don't look that different. Maybe a little less full than back in your heyday of 20, 25 years ago, but I mean, I don't know.
My legs did improve. Okay,
they did. But I'm saying,
but they weren't.
They're not
They
like
weren't,
they were.
massive and thick like they were now.
And I mean, you trained your ass off for them. You did, and you slept
I
12
did.
hours a day.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, do you think it's just, maybe they can't be the way they used to be?
I think age has a lot to do with it, of course.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, you're
I think
superhuman. For
age has a lot
53
to do
years
with it.
old, you're probably the most exceptional 53-year-old bodybuilder I've ever seen. For someone that came back after all those years of not training heavy and not competing, for you to be able to do what you do or did for this prep, you inspired the hell out of everybody out there I know 40 and over.
Yeah.
And you talk about the critics and who's the real Kevin Levrone fans and who isn't. If you look at the comments, it actually really fell into an age divide because a lot of the negative comments saying, "Oh, Kevin looked like," it was very young guys. It was guys in their 20s, guys who weren't even born when you were,
Uh-huh.
winning shows back in the day. And if you look at the other side of the coin, the guys who are saying, "Thank you, Kevin, for inspiring me. You really made," I've been seeing a lot of stuff where guys say, "You know what? I'm going to compete again. I'm going to start training again. I've been away from it for years, but Kevin really, he brought it out of me. I saw what he was able to accomplish." And it's guys 40 plus, 50 plus, who are just really wowed by what you did and so grateful that you did this.
Yeah.
Because you didn't do this for you. You did this for your fans. And I don't want to be selfish and say you did it for the older fans, but I kind of feel like you did. The people who
Yeah.
have been with you all along. I mean,
Right.
you must be reading all the comments on your Instagram and
Yeah, I
stuff.
do. I
Yeah.
do. Yeah, I mean, you get older, it's harder to bring anything back. It's harder to bench press, it's harder to squat, it's harder to do any of those things.
Yeah.
It's harder to bring the legs back too. I mean, you're talking about bringing legs back to a pro level quality leg. I mean, my leg right now it's 30 inches, but when I competed, it was like 32, 33. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you take a few inches off your leg, it's going to look different,
Right.
of course. And that's just it. I'm not Superman. I'm not superhuman. I'm human just like everybody else, man.
Yeah.
And I think my fans expected, to see me look like I look when I stop.
Okay, just so you guys aren't alarmed, Kevin's battery on his phone died, so he moved to a different spot. That's why I jumped from different look there. So we were talking about the comeback, and I have to ask you, you knew this was your last show. How emotional was it for you to go out there and pose, knowing this was the last time? You're going to pose, you're going to guest pose and everything, but this was the last
Yeah,
time you were going to
it was
pose in a
the
contest.
introduction that Tony Jordan gave me was the best introduction I ever had in my life.
Wow.
The crowd, everything, it was perfect, and I was in a better mood than I was in 2016. Everything was just okay, it was all right because I knew that I had done everything I possibly could do. The legs weren't 100% back where they were, but I did put some size on them,
Yeah.
But I tried, and I did my best, And with that being said, taking everything out of it, for the water or whatever happened, I wasn't even worried about that. I was feeling good. I was in a good mood and a good situation, knowing that I had made every decision and stuck by it, and still stood by it, for me to go out there and do that show, and that's it, man. It felt good. It was emotional. It was emotional. Still is emotional. I mean, I love this sport. I'm going to
Yeah.
compete. I'm going to miss competing and being on stage. Um, I really am, But it's time for me to go. I don't need to win any more shows. It's just time. I got to focus on my son now. And I gave the fans what they want. I try to give the fans what they want. I feel like I can do it with less stress and be better guest posing and just come in guest posing and stuff, knowing that I'm not up there, I'm not being judged by anybody, and I'm just going to the beat, marching to the beat of my own drum, not competing against anyone. But I think what the fans want, they just want to see me back on stage performing. So if
Yeah.
I can go out and perform and be in great guest posing shape, I'm going to get less criticism, but I can still motivate people.
So, I mean, you basically had to put your life on hold to prep for the show. It took everything out of you. I mean, every week that I talked to you, I could see it and I could hear it. more and more the toll this was taking on you.
Yeah.
Brutally, the training, the way you were training like the way you were 20, 30 years ago, but you're doing it at age
Yeah.
53. All the food, all the crazy heavy training, supersets, drop sets, giant sets, super heavy
Everything.
weights,
Everything,
everything.
man.
And
Stuff.
I mean, you're not going to keep that pace up. I'm hoping, right?
Far as training,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, I can't wait to get back. I'm going to the gym today. Like I
No,
told you, going after that bench press world record.
right. But you're
So
not
I
going to be in
gotta
there
train heavy.
7 days a week, 2 hours a
Yes, I
day, are
am.
you?
Yep.
You
Yep.
are?
I'm gonna
Oh,
do it.
God.
Yeah. Because I want to see what's going to happen. I'm not going to stop training. No.
Okay. What about
Nope.
diet?
I'm going to see what's going to happen. No.
You,
Nope. I'm not going to get out of shape. I didn't come as far as to not stay in shape. I'm going to stay in shape.
okay.
I'm going to keep doing it. This gives me something to do, man. I'm serious,
No,
right? I feel
I
good.
know
I'm
you're
not going to
mentally
stop.
strong and everything, but you're going to keep eating like fish and asparagus and shit. You're not going
I'm
to.
going to do what I'll splurge every now and then, but I'm going to do what I need to do because what I want to do is start doing training video. I want to start doing more stuff in the gym with my shirt off.
Yeah.
And I think the fans will appreciate that. Like I stayed covered up doing the whole preparation.
Right.
Now I'm going to be training in the gym in a tank top with my shirt off. It's going to just be fun, man.
Okay. Good.
Why not? Why not give them what they want? They love it. I've always noticed when I post things with my shirt off and stuff. And probably what I'll do is, I'll go on live and I'll go through like on live webcam or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll go through like some compulsory poses, and show them and talk to the fans how to pose and do that stuff, with my shirt off and showing them my legs and everything. Why not?
I have a feeling you'll actually look better because the stress of that show date coming up and knowing you're going to have to fly all the way around the world and do all this, that's off your head now. Now you really can just have fun with it, right?
Yeah, and I think it'll be more entertaining and more what they want to see anyway. And we'll I think this weekend guest posing at the Gladiator here in Baltimore is going to set the stage for everything. What's going to happen after?
Yeah. So that's a Rich
Yeah.
Siegelman show?
Yeah.
Okay. It's called the Gladiator Cup?
The Gladiator Cup here in Baltimore, Maryland this Saturday.
So if any of you guys are in the Baltimore area, you're in for a treat because I know you guys didn't get your asses all the way to Melbourne, Australia, most of you, right? So,
And I'll look better. I'll look better now than I even looked in Australia. Trust me.
yeah, I mean,
I've already lost 7 or 8 pounds of water.
I got to give you credit because I would be like crying my eyes out looking at myself now and looking this much better than you
It's
did
okay, man.
at the contest.
I've done it 1,000 times at shows. I remember when I flew, I was in shape, but when I flew to do my first pro show and in San Francisco, Porter Control beat me, and Terry Pastel beat me,
Wow,
and I got third place at my first pro show.
that's
And I
right.
flew out there from California, and I took my clothes off. I was like, what in the world? And I never knew that flying at altitude would make your body, protect itself and blow up with water.
Right.
And that was my first taste of reality because I got third. I'm like, what's going on? I
Was
thought I
that
was ripped.
second time in your life you'd been on a plane, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the first time to compete.
Right. You had gone to see
And
Joe Weider after you won nationals.
yeah, yes.
And do
And I
photo shoots
knew,
out there.
and I found out then that flying makes you retain fluid. And that's why I started driving to all of my shows that I would do here in America.
Right. Wow.
So I came home and started depleting the water out of my body on that Tuesday. I got home Monday. Started depleting that Tuesday and drove to New York City and stood on stage. I was so ripped and shredded. Like I said, I didn't even get a call out.
Yeah.
And I won.
You won.
Didn't do any cardio. Didn't change anything in my diet. All it was water retention.
Yeah, I mean, usually when people say they're holding water, they're full of shit. They didn't get in shape. But I mean, the difference when you put up the picture, it's proof. You tightened up like I'd say like 20% tighter.
And I just showed you what my abs and stuff look like.
I mean, but you were putting up pictures like just a day later.
Yeah,
A
the
day
next
or day
day
and a
it was
half
totally
later.
different.
Yeah, Just the water.
Like 25% different. Like, what in the world? And I didn't even take any diuretics, and that just happened.
Right. Yeah. We just went home.
You
And
know?
I mean, how long you been back home now?
I've been home. I got home last night.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, just being in your normal environment too. You know.
Yeah.
I think
It's all
that makes a
good,
big
man.
difference.
Yeah.
Well.
So for my fans out there, guys, you know, if any fan, anyone was in that situation that I was in,
Yeah.
you know what I would have did? I would have did the same thing. I would have told them, nope, don't do it. Especially if it was an older dude. I said, nah, don't do it, man. Don't do it.
I want to read you just one. I don't know if you remember a guy named Ruben from New Zealand.
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to read what he sent to me on a message. He said, "Hey, Ron, when you get Kevin back on for his post-episode, if you haven't already, could you pass on this message? Thank you, Kevin, for giving your time and giving my son advice, which he really appreciated, and the opportunity for us to meet you. Thank you for competing one final time for the fans and yourself on your own terms. It was so great to see you hit those signature poses and display that familiar Levrone shape." Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
And I want to thank you for choosing "Who's Got My Back Now" by Creed as the song. That's the one I was...
Who's got my back now? All we have left is deceptive, so disconnected. What is the truth now?
Yeah. It had to be Creed. I'm glad you went out with Creed, man. It really, to me, I can't think of Creed, a couple songs without thinking about Kevin Levrone and vice versa. See, Kevin, there's
That's
Creed.
awesome, man.
Yeah. They should have
It's
paid
all
you to
good,
it.
man. Are you disappointed? Are you disappointed in me?
I'm not. You know why? Because I wasn't expecting you. I know that just from my own body and what I've been through, injuries and age, and I'm a few years younger than you, but I know the body
Yeah.
you can't go back in time. You can't make yourself look at 50 the way you did at 25. It's just,
Yeah.
we're humans. Our bodies, they age
I
over
mean,
time. We're not
if
robots.
you were in my situation, what would you have done?
I mean, maybe I would have gotten there earlier, but then again, you have your son to do it. My kids are older. I could leave my family. I could leave my kids for a week, and it wouldn't really be a big deal. I don't think you can leave your son for a whole week, right?
No.
So that wasn't really an option.
So, right.
I might have gotten a little tighter, a little leaner. You're in great shape now. Could have been a little tighter, maybe. I'm being totally honest with you.
I'm talking about with the water.
No, I know, but I think you a little bit less. You could have been a little bit leaner because condition. I'm a condition freak. I'm a condition snob. I'm all about condition.
Yeah.
Even, there's very few pro shows where I see the top 5 and I'm satisfied. We're talking about like the Arnold, the Olympia.
Yeah.
I can pick apart like, nah, this should have been a little tighter, that should have been a little tighter, because that's my job. I'm paid to be a critic. So we're very, very, very critical, like Sean is. We're very, very critical.
So you wouldn't have took any diuretics?
At 53 years old with an 11-year-old son, no, I wouldn't chance it. To do
And
what?
going that far and everything else, right?
I mean,
Yep.
if I was in the show to win the show and beat Rolly Winkler and Dexter Jackson and William Bonac, and this is my career, competing is my whole life, and contracts are riding on and all that shit, maybe.
Right.
But being in your situation, exactly, you did the right thing, because why would you risk your health? Because people don't. I don't think everyone out there realizes. Let me explain for those few out there who might not comprehend this. You can shoot steroids, and it's not going to kill you that day. It's not. But you can use diuretics and die that day. It's happened to not just Momo.
Exactly.
It's happened to dozens more people than we'll ever know, because not everyone's a big star, and you hear about it. But your electrolyte balance, your heart, you could have a heart attack, go into kidney failure. Diuretics are no joke.
They're dangerous. They're no joke.
I've never used.
I was talking to a guy.
Yeah.
I got a message that on my thing, and after he was like, "Oh, you don't have to explain. You don't have to explain." Yeah, you do have to explain yourself. I have to explain myself, because if you don't explain yourself and tell the truth, people do crazy things and end up killing themselves. Okay, like maybe somebody should have told Momo, no matter what you do, you don't have the muscle mass to beat Kevin. But instead, you know what the judges said? You're not lean enough. You're not lean enough. And the man stopped drinking water for 5 days. took diuretics, and sat in the sauna because
Wow.
they said he wasn't lean enough. Well, he was lean enough. He just didn't have the mass to beat me,
Yeah.
right? So you have to tell the truth. So I went to the show and I made those decisions based on the facts that I was faced with. Wasn't
Yeah.
going to put my life in danger, okay? So it's nothing to hide. You can't push the envelope like Ron said. You know, steroids don't kill you that day. You can
Yeah.
take a shot, or you can take some diuretic, and done. You're completely done.
Yeah.
And I've seen guys die. They passed away.
Right.
Got a message from someone. He says, "I'm glad you made the right decision. You made the right decision because," he goes, I think it was a family member of his. He says, he was over 50 years old. He was 50. He was fine. Took diuretic, walked on stage, talking perfectly backstage, got underneath them lights. Boom. The guy collapsed. Tried to revive him for half an hour. Time the paramedics came, got him to the hospital, he died.
And
You know,
to put this in perspective, you were like, what, 9 years old when you lost your dad?
10.
10? I mean, I was 16. So I think having kids as a man who grew up without a dad because your dad passed away when you were a kid, I think it gives you an extra sense of responsibility. Your dad had cancer, right?
Yeah.
My dad had cancer. So there was nothing they could do about that. That just happened. But you're a bodybuilder, I'm a bodybuilder. There are things we can do that are either going to put our lives more at risk or less at risk. So we have choices to
Exactly.
make that someone else might not have. And at 53 years old or at my age, it's your sense of mortality. It's there. If you're a dumb shit and you do things and take a lot of chances,
Yeah.
you might leave your kid without a father. He might be there at his high school graduation looking around and seeing everyone else with their dad.
Right.
His dad's not there. He's at his wedding. Where's my dad? Oh, he passed away 20 years ago. So, I mean.
Yeah. Trying to make a comeback because he was so selfish and worried about winning a show when he had already won 23 pro shows and everything else already in the Hall of Fame. Well, why would he push it that far? What's the point? Right? Dumb.
Yeah.
So no, I had to think about my son and my life and my family who really loves me. And I'm home right now because of the decisions that I've made. And my whole entire career has got me this far. So I'm not going to make any stupid decision that's going to end it now.
Right. No, I just had to throw that out there because I think, to put it in perspective for the young guys out there, they don't have that point of view yet. They're not going to have it for a long time.
Yeah.
Some of them are never going to have it. But if you have kids and you're older, you have a perspective on your own health and just being around for your kids. It's a sense of duty. I gotta live for my kids. I have to be here for them. I have to. That's it.
That's it, man.
That's the most important job I have is take care of my kids and to be there for them. Everything else comes after.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't have that attitude as a parent, you're a shitty parent. Sorry.
Yeah, you are. Exactly. I 100% agree with you.
All right, man. Well, I thank you so much, Kevin, for taking the time to do this so soon after the show.
No problem, man.
Bummed I wasn't in Melbourne, but I saw it on the webcast. It was, the next best thing. So thanks, Tony Doherty, for hooking the webcast up.
Yeah.
It looked nice and crisp. And have a great guest posting this weekend in Baltimore, dude.
All right, brother. Thank you, Ron.
All right. For How
Peace.
I See It with Kevin Levrone, brought to you by Levrone Supplements. It's been Ron Harris and Kevin Levrone. Talk to you next time.
Shaboom.
Shaboom.